Yahweh Shem Mashiach Yahusha. 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 Yahweh Shem Mashiach Yahusha.
Shalom Israel, this is Lyle Yahweh back with another video. I'm just making this video. This is one I was been supposed to make around April, Passover time, to show when is the first day of the year with God, or when is the first Hebrew month according to the Gregorian calendar. It's not January because we didn't always have a calendar. God gave us something that's been around for longer than a calendar that the word month come from, and I'll show you that later in the video. Once we get to it, I'm just going to let the scriptures bring it out. Exodus 12:1, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Spake ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Here's the point. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. So a sheep in its first year is known as a lamb. The sheep is number one, the Aries. I'm going to go on zodiacs because Aries is the first zodiac sign according to the tables. That's why it's number one, right? Lamb, hogget, or a mutan, generically sheep meat, or the meat of a domestic sheep. Ovis Aries, remember that, Aries. A sheep in its first year is a lamb, and his meat is also lamb. The meat from a sheep in their second year is a hogget. Older sheep meat is matan. So there you have the Ovis Aries. Remember that Aries is the sheep. The ram is number one. Esther 3:7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ashurus, they cast pur, that is the lot before Haman, from day to day and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. So we got to know what the month Adar is to know what's the first month. And we're going to get to that in the Strongs. Strong's H143, Adar. Adar. Now we're going to see what it breaks down to. Adar, glorious. 12th month corresponding to modern March, April. See? Strong's definition, probably a foreign derivation, perhaps meaning fire, Adar, the 12th Hebrew month, Adar. So it's a March, April, depending on when the new moon falls. The 12th month of the Hebrew months, from the new moon of March to that of April. According to the rabbis, from the new moon of February to that of March. Depending on when the month falls, because it's around springtime. That's why I say the 6 of the Syro-Mediterranean months, and the etymology are certain. Perhaps this month is so called from the flowers and trees being splendidly covered with leaves. Springtime. Deuteronomy 16:1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover, which Pashka unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt by night. Thou shalt therefore sacrifice the Passover to the Lord thy God of the flock and of the herd in the place which the Lord shall choose to the place his name there, which is Jerusalem. 2 Chronicles 6:5. Since the day that I brought forth my people out of the land of Egypt, I choose no city among all the tribes of Israel to build an house, and that my name might be there. Neither chose I any man to be a ruler over my people Israel, but I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there, and have chosen David to be over my people Israel. Now it was in the heart of David my father to build an house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. So here we have it. God chose Jerusalem and Solomon to build a house. Now it can't be nowhere else other than where he chose. Period. We're going to show that. Nisan, their flight, the first month of the Jewish calendar, corresponding with March, April, depending on when the new moon falls. So Abib and Nisan is the same thing. It's either or. It means the same thing. Nisan, Abib. And when it says March, April, because spring starts every year March 20th and ends around April 19th. That's around Passover or Easter, Pashka. And I'll show you that later in the video. Abib, fresh young barley ears, barley, month of ear forming, greening of crop, the green. Abib, month of the Exodus and Passover, March, April, Strong's definition. From the unused root meaning to be tender, green, a young ear of grain, hence the name of the month Abib or Nisan. See that? Abib, ear, green ears of corn, not maize. See that? You say Abib or Nisan. So it's either or. Deuteronomy 16:1 says Abib. Esther 3:7 says Nisan. But we see here, when you strong it mean the same thing. Passover, Pashka, the first month of the year. Now here we go, Aries. Aries is the first astrological sign in the zodiac, spanning in the first 30 degrees of the celestial longitude, and originates from the constellation of the same name under the tropical zodiac. The sun traced this sign from approximately March 20th to April 21st each year. See that? The ram, which is a sheep, same thing. Birthstone, diamond, element fire. Aries are fire signs. So this is why we see Aries the first. Now when you look at the chart, right, Aries is at the top. Then it's Taurus, then it's Gemini, then it's Cancer, then it's Leo, then it's Libra. No, Virgo, then Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. So we see why Aries is way at the top, because it's number one. It sets it off. It starts off the months of the years and everything. So here we're going to see right here with the name. Aries head. See? March 21st to April 20th. Then Taurus, then Gemini, then Cancer, then Leo. Where they get the 12 months, the 12 zodiac signs, all this 12, 12, 12 corresponds with the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 disciples, it all is synonymous. This is where they get the 12 months from. This is where they get the 12 hours of the day from. It all goes back to Israel. Acts 12:1. Now about the time of Herod, the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in a prison and delivered him to the 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. See that? When it say, then there were days of unleavened bread, we know the days of unleavened bread come after Easter, Pashka. Right here, Strong's G3957, Pashka, Easter. That's in the Strong's. That's Acts 12:4. You can look it up. Now, when you Strong's definition, Pashka, a Chaldean origin, the Passover, the meal, the day, the festival, or the personal sacrifices connected with it. Easter, Passover, same thing. See how I say Easter 28 times in the King James Bible, and Easter one time? It says Easter in Acts 12:4. But we know it says Passover plenty of times in the KJV. So when it comes to Easter, it's not a coincidence why it's always around April, because Easter is really Passover. That's what it is. Pashka, the Paschal sacrifice, which was accustomed to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt. And we know who was delivered from Egypt, the children of Israel. The Paschal lamb, the lamb the Israelites were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month Nisan, the first month of their year, in memory of the day on which their fathers prepared to depart from Egypt, were abiding by God to slay and eat a lamb, and to sprinkle their doorposts with its blood, that the destroying angels, seeing the blood, might pass over their dwellings. Christ crucified is likened to the slain Paschal lamb, the Paschal supper, the Paschal feast, the feast of Passover, extending from the 14th to the 20th day of the month Nisan. So see, we have it. The month Nisan is the first month, and we know Nisan is around March, April. April will be the first month. Springtime, that's when the first month starts. Spring. Easter always occurs on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon. The first full moon that occurs after the vernal equinox, which signifies the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere, according to the old former almanac. See that? Spring starts around March, after the vernal equinox, which is around March, April. Now you see right here, Easter 2022, Passover was April 17th on a Sunday. Now the next Easter 2023 is going to be April 9th. Now you see, Easter always occurs around April or sometimes March because it's really Passover. Now you can look from the 2018 to 2028. It's always in April. But you have to go off the moon to get the exact date. And I will go further into depth with that later in the video. Spring, Sunday, March 20th to Tuesday, June 21st. See, spring starts around March 20th every year. Now, depending on when the moon falls, that first new moon after spring, around spring, is considered the first day of the first month according to God, officially. That's why I say March, April. Numbers 10 and 10. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God. See, he said, the beginning of months, every first new moon is a holiday. Now, the world don't celebrate it like scriptures say. The first new moon is always a holiday with the Most High. That's why I say blow your trumpets. It's the first Sabbath of every month, the first new moon. Then the 7 days is the second Sabbath. 1 Samuel 20 and 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon the seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David sat, and the seat was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had fallen with him. He is not clean, surely he is not clean. And it came to pass, here's the point, on the morrow, which is the second day of the month, right there, that David place was empty, and Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today? 2 Chronicles 2 and 4. Behold, I build an house to the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him, and to burn before him sweet incense, and for continual shewbread, and for the burnt offerings morning and evening, on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feasts of the Lord our God, is an ordinance forever to Israel. And the house which I built is great, for great is our God above all gods. But who is able to build him an house, seeing the heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain him? Who am I then that I should build him an house, save only to burnt sacrifices before him? And God chose the house. 2 Chronicles 6 and 6. It's in Jerusalem. Now right here, if you look at the moon, the the first new moon in March was on the 2nd. The next one after spring, after March 20th, was March 31st. So that would have marked the official first day of spring, the official first month, because it's after spring, as it's during spring, right? So we got to count from there over to see when the Passover start, right? So March 31st is the first day. So we go from there. March 31st is 1. April 1st is 2. April 2nd is 3. April 3rd is the 4th day, right? 4 is the 5th day. 5 is the 6th day. 6 is the 7th day. So this first Sabbath, the second Sabbath would have been April 6th. 7, 8, 9, 10. The ninth would have been the 10th day. So that's when it started. So you go over 4 more days. 10, 11, 12, 13. The 13th, Wednesday, April 13th, was officially Passover this year, if you're going by the moon. And they said Easter was the 17th. That's why it's always around the same time, Easter. But if they don't go by the moon, so they're going to be off the way they are. And you got to always go by the moon, because the moon sets the months. That's where the word month come from. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, turn on your post notifications so when I upload another video, you'll be the first to get it. I'm going to keep bringing out this truth. Shalom, Israel. Till next time.